Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is George Herrera with the Queens Home team at Keller Williams Realty. In today's video, I wanted to address something that we offer, something that we do a lot for people who have inherited properties, and it's date of death valuation letters or letters of valuation when someone inherits a property. So we get, whether it's from past clients, our network, or just general consumers that will reach out to us, and they'll many times they've inherited a property for one reason or another. They need a letter of valuation because it is very common when you inherit a property that either for estate taxes, for capital gains calculations, or for probate proceedings, you'll need a letter of valuation, a date of death valuation, simply meaning it's a letter of valuation stating from a real estate professional how much the property was worth on the date that the previous owner passed away. So if you inherited a property, then the date of death valuation or the letter of valuation for whatever those purposes are, capital gains, estate taxes, or for the probate proceeding, they would need it from the date of death, so the time of passing. On that date, what was the property worth? Sometimes it could be a year ago, it could be 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. We have information, we have resources that we can go back as far back as necessary to pull comps in order to come up with the valuation for that date. And we offer this all the time. So I wanted to make a video just to explain it briefly, and also to let people know that we offer this in case you ever need one. So the date of death valuation, just like I stated, it's a date of death valuation determines the fair market value of a property on the date that the previous owner passed away. The valuation is often required for, like I mentioned, estate taxes, capital gains calculations to understand how much you'll owe in capital gains if you were to sell the property, or for probate proceedings in general. It helps establish the step up in basis. So when you inherit a property, you inherit at time of death value. That's how the law works. So meaning if the person who owned the property bought the property for $50,000, and then at the time of their death it was worth $900,000. So now the person who inherits the property, their cost basis is not the $50,000, the original purchase price. Their cost basis is the $900,000. So that's called a step up in cost basis whenever you inherit a property, and that's why many times you get the date of death valuation letter in order to determine what the fair market value is on that date of passing, and that's where you determine your step up. So that's your new cost basis, and let's say 5, 10 years, 20 years down the road, you sell that property, the cost basis they'll utilize is that date of death valuation. So that's for the step up in basis. And if you plan to, so why is it important? If you plan to sell the property, knowing the valuation helps determine potential taxes owed. We do this with all of the owners that we meet with who are actually planning to sell. If they inherit a property and their intention is to sell it, or even when they're in the planning phase and they're just wondering, should I sell, should I rent, should I hold on to it? When they're trying to determine what the best course of action is, all you need is all of the information, and then you can make a good decision. So we usually will give them rental comps so that they understand what they can rent it for if they decided to hold it. We give them the sold comp so they understand what the value is right now. And we also typically help them determine what their estimated capital gains taxes would be. And that gives them an idea of what their true net profit will be. Because one thing is what you're going to net once you sell the property. The other thing is that if you owe capital gains taxes, and if it's significant, then you have to actually subtract that from your net proceeds and actually see if that helps you achieve your goals of whatever those goals are. So that helps when you have the date of death valuation. It helps you estimate capital gains taxes that will be owed after a potential sale. And again, that just arms you with more information in order to make a really sound decision as to whether you'd like to sell, hold, rent it, etc. All right, and now also date of death valuation letters. These are also good if there's multiple heirs involved that inherit a property, then a fair market valuation can help avoid disputes. We've also done this many times where there's multiple heirs. Maybe one wants to buy the other one out, or there's not an agreement as to the price or what the property is worth. And so many times they'll bring us in as a third party to give an objective valuation, and that at least brings everybody to the same page. And now you can it helps avoid disputes, because instead of other separate parties giving their opinion of value, then you bring in a third party professional that can give an objective valuation, and then that can get the ball rolling from there. At least you determine that. So just wanted to give a brief overview on this, because we actually offer this a lot, and we do a lot of letters of valuation for people who inherited properties. It's a free service that we offer to local owners, just anyone in general that inherits a property in New York City or in Nassau County, because we have access to the comps and we can easily provide that. So if you ever need one of those, feel free to reach out to us. If you know someone who might need one, then feel free to send them our way. If you have any questions about this or about potentially selling the information that you need, the estimated capital gains, any of this type of information, feel free to reach out to us anytime. You can visit us on our website, queenshometeam.com, and you can find a link there to contact us, or you can give us a call at the number below. Okay, thanks as always for tuning in, y'all. Stay tuned for the next episode. Take care and have a great day.